Hey, Paul.
Jackie, what's going on? How you doing?
I'm doing good.
You're doing good. I have a dog in my lap.
You do. It's laying down. She is laying down. Very calm.
She's going to be my lap warmer.
Cool. Well, hello. My name's Jackie. I'm the summer camp director for the 1-week programs and this 2-week program of Catalina Sea Camp held at Fox Landing.
And my name is Paul Buttercup Kupferman, and I am the summer camp director for Toyon Bay's 3-week program.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we want to just give you some information on the differences between these programs. We have a 1-week program, we have a 2-week program, we have a 3-week program, and a big question we get is why, what do I know? How do I know which program to send my kid?
Oh my gosh, I have a 12-year-old and they can do the 1, 2, or 3. Which one do I choose?
That's the golden age. The 12 and 13-year-olds, they have free will.
They can do anything. That's a dilemma as a parent.
Yeah.
Because what do you do? What do you choose? That's what we're going to tell you about.
That's what we're going to tell you. We're going to help you figure out which one you want to send your kid to. And just to give you a little idea, the way that I feel like our main purpose for having 1, 2, 3 is because we want campers to start out at the 1 week and kind of like graduate and grow with the program. And I would say that the way the programs are designed gives them that opportunity to like continue skills, right?
Every single year there can be something new. Not only will the population with new staff, new campers, but the programs can be new, especially with our lengthier programs, the 2-week and the 3-week, is the programs grow on each other.
Yeah.
There's diving 1, there's diving 2, there's diving 3, beginning sailing, basic sailing, all the way up to intermediate based sailing.
Right.
There's lots of different ways to grow within a program.
And for kids to like get better, like learning a skill one summer and then making it like excelling in that skill. So you brought up diving, which I think we can all agree is one of our biggest, coolest selling points of Sea Camp.
Yeah.
Let's talk about like what the difference is of scuba diving with 1 week, 2 week, and 3 week. I'll start off just by saying in the 1 week program, there is no scuba diving.
Yes.
We don't do any underwater scuba. 2 week, you get an opportunity to do try dive, but you have to be 13, 14, or 15 years old to try diving. And they actually do get to learn how to like set up the gear and go underwater. But the 3-week...
The 3-week program, we are certifying campers to scuba dive. What is awesome is we work with NAUI, the National Association of Underwater Instructors, and we certify
Doesn't like NASA and Disney use NAUI?
And the UC, University of California system, they do.
Yeah, it's like elite. It's elite.
Super elite. We're so elite, it's silly. So we certify the most teenage scuba divers for NAUI of any facility in the world. We are great at certifying teens, 12-year-olds, all the way up through 17-year-olds. That is what we do. We have an amazing diving director, Peach. Peach is awesome. She continues to make us a better program every single year. Peach, high five.
Did you bring up all the different like certifications?
Oh my goodness.
Because there's more than just basic diving, people.
You get your basic dive certification, you do advanced, you can do underwater video, you're doing underwater photo, you're
rescue.
doing rescue, advanced underwater photo, all the way up to master diver.
Oh my gosh.
That is a really intense course, typically taken by 15, 16, or 17-year-olds. A lot of times it's 17-year-olds. It takes up a lot of time during the 3-week program, but it is the top amateur diving certification that you can get.
Yeah, and I think another thing that's cool is, let's say your kid is already a diver and maybe has all the certifications they want and they just kind of want to dive for fun. There's classes like the cat diver class where you just go around the island and scuba dive. I mean, all these different beautiful boat diving places that, usually you wouldn't be able to do like consecutively, but on the island because they're in camp for 3 weeks. They're just like going everywhere. If
I had to like describe the difference between the 1 week and then the 2 and 3 week, the 1 week you get a taste of everything.
Just a little taste.
I call it like going to a smorgasbord. Do you know the word smorgasbord?
You've said it, but I know.
It's like a salad bar that isn't just salad. It's got like chipped beef,
like charcuterie.
No, not like charcuterie.
Oh my God.
It's like a huge salad bar, but with not just salad. It's got dinner. It's got dessert.
Like soup
1 week,
plantation.
you get a taste of everything.
Okay.
You get to go to the smorgasbord. That's fun to say. Say it.
The smorgasbord.
Smorgasbord. So you go to the smorgasbord, you get a taste of absolutely everything. With the 2 week and the 3 week, you get to select what it is that you want to do before you come.
Right.
That's the huge difference. Even more than just the diving is really independently selected activities. The 2 week, you get the activity guide before you come. You're selecting the activities that you want to do. The 3 week, same thing. You get that activity guide. You are selecting the activities before you come.
Yeah.
2 week and 3 week versus the 1 week.
Yeah.
Self-selected, group-based smorgasbord.
Smorgasbord.
I won't say that again.
And that kind of goes into a big difference in the 1 week, 2 week, and 3 week, which you touched on, is the daily schedules. So like you said, in the 1 week program, which we haven't mentioned this yet, but in 1 week, it is campers 8 years old up to 13. And their schedule is pre-done. We have all of their schedules done before they get into camp, and they get to do everything. They get to kayak, they get to stand up paddleboard, they get to try to sail, they get to snorkel, giant swing, rock wall archery. They get a little bit of all of it, and there's some opportunities for electives if there's something they want to try again. So they're pretty much like set once they get into camp, but
Yes.
it's the daily schedule of the 2 week and 3 week that I think is different, and I think what sells the program, because it's kind of, what did you say? You call it like it's like classes? What you said, one time you were describing it to me.
I don't call them classes, I call them activities. Because it
Activities.
is really, we're not sitting down in a classroom, taking notes.
That's true. I did have a phone call with someone the other day and the camper was like, but you called it a class.
Yeah, I call them activities
It's not a
because
class.
it's scuba diving, it's
Right.
sailing. If we're going to be doing a marine biology course, we are going to be going in tide pools, we are going to be dissecting dogfish, sharks. It's not like, yeah, that's what they're called.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh my gosh, that's really embarrassing for me.
Yeah, they are called dogfish sharks.
That's
Yeah.
really cool.
It is. They're super cool to dissect if you're into that. But yeah, okay.
Yeah, no, and like Paul said, they get to pick what they want to do, and it's a little more like just independence. In the 1 week that your camper will get to do every activity with their counselor. They are being not followed, but they're being supervised by that same counselor in every single thing that they do, and they get really close to them. But in the 2 and 3 week, they get to go off and work with other campers from other cabins and get to be with other counselors, other instructors.
Yes.
They get to kind of spread their wings a little bit in the camp environment.
An independent activity-based program
Yeah.
for the 2 week and 3 week.
I
1
love
week,
that.
it
That's
is
great.
more of a group-based activity. You're going around with your group the entire time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another point that we have talked about that's different between 1 week, 2 week, and 3 week is our nighttime after dinner time period. There are a lot of different activities that we do at nighttime.
I think our nighttime activities are incredibly unique. I
Yeah.
think some of them, with our longer sessions, you do not find at other programs.
Right.
And they are a lot of fun, and they really assist in group bonding.
In the 1 weeks in all the programs, we do something called rec time, which is kind of like recess, where there's this period of time after dinner and where kids can just kind of like run around and roam and play gaga or volleyball. That's similar between all of us.
Rec time, or recreation time, is we have staff stationed all around camp.
That's true.
So they are stationed at the beach, they're stationed at our dive deck, they're stationed at our yacht club area, and they are all around camp, and the campers get to just chill.
Yeah.
And that is when a lot of socialization happens. They're playing ping pong, they're stacking rocks, which is a really fun activity. They're just hanging out, being a kid, being unplugged. Unplugged. My favorite
Nothing,
saying.
no phones.
My favorite saying.
Disconnect to reconnect.
That's it. That is what we are doing. When things get awkward, kids can't turn to their phone. They have to continue the conversation. I think kids get so much from summer. Summer camp is probably more important now than it ever was because of phones. Because kids don't have phones at camp.
They're totally unplugged from the world.
Yeah,
No, it's great.
it's awesome.
So rec time is cool, and then after rec time, so in the 1 week program, nighttime is very structured, just like daytime. After rec time, we'll either do some type of hour, 15-minute activity, whether it's a crew night, like a party with kids their age, or an elective night where they can, if they want to rock wall at nighttime or go on a night snorkel, they can do that. But we end every single night with a campfire.
That's the 1 week.
That's the 1 weeks. That's the
Right.
1 weeks. And I think that is, for me, one of my favorite parts of the day. If you're watching this and your camper has been to the 1 week, they probably have talked about how amazing the campfires are.
Or sung you a song that they learned at the campfire.
Yeah, or told you something really silly and ridiculous that a counselor or another camper group did. But the campfires are awesome, and that's kind of like this very specific traditional way that we end every evening and nighttime at the 1 week. But in the 2 week and 3 week, we have lots of different
Oh boy.
things.
We do crew nights. Typically the first crew night is really a get to know you night where kids are able to share things about themselves in front of a larger group. We do elective nights where we do everything from a mestival where we cover ourselves in all sorts of craziness and jump in the ocean, or we are seeing behind the scenes of our aquariums. There's going to be things for the academic camper, and there's going to be things for the social camper. And then we also have all camp activities like the dance, the carnival. My favorite is Ugly Counselor, where the campers get to dress their counselor up and make them into a crazy character. And then we have like an anti-beauty pageant in front of the entire camp. Other things, sometimes we have a guest speaker. We have a lip sync contest. Sundays, typically, we have a relaxing evening and have what we call See-Me-Plex, where the kids get to choose an appropriate movie that they want to watch with. That's our 3 week program.
Yeah.
Again, and then I mentioned the dances and carnivals, but they are huge.
Yeah, they're
at
themed.
The 3 week
What was the
program.
theme for them for 2020?
Oh my goodness, you're going to put me on the spot.
Oh, I'm sorry. I can tell. So we have implemented some of these things in the 2 week program. There's a few differences just because it's 2 weeks. And this past summer was our first time doing it. So a lot of it was kind of like created by the campers and the counselors on things that they wanted to do. But we had a dance as well. It was the silent disco dance party. And the theme was dino disco. So we like totally decked out the dining hall to look like a dinosaur, like Jurassic Park world. And the campers came with costumes. And they do the same at Toyon. It's very elaborate.
Yes. So the last couple of carnivals that we have, we like to be irreverent and silly. And so I had to look it up. I'm getting old. I forget things. So this year for our carnival, it was Oh Citrus Tree. It was a citrus themed carnival. And
so
it was
weird.
Hysterical. And the costumes were super, super creative. People came as glasses of orange juice or pomegranate, pamplemousse, grapefruit.
Ew, pamplemousse.
Immediately my head went French first. Why did that happen? And then our dance theme was Intergalactic Barnyard Disco. Yeah.
How did I not know that? That is amazing.
You could be a cow, you could be a space astronaut, you could be an astronaut cow.
It's like Space Cowboy.
We've had things like
Love
the Jardy where you only wear denim. We've had Toy-On Toy Box where you dress as a toy. My favorite is P is for Party.
Oh, that was a good one.
Everyone dressed up as something that started with the letter P.
Yeah.
And it just allowed for really cool, creative costumes.
Yeah.
Can you please talk about silent disco?
Oh, okay. The silent disco. So because we were running the 2 week and the 1 week at Fox, we run them together. There are times where we want to be really loud and crazy and listen to loud music, and the other program is trying to do something not loud and crazy. So we got these silent disco headphones for the summertime, and they have 3 channels on them. So let's say you have a headphone on that has 3 different channels, and the campers can choose which channels they want to listen to, and they can change the volume so it can be really, really high or really, really low. And the 3 channels we had were, one was like an actual just dance pop music. One of them was like calm music, and then the third one
was chanting by monks.
No, it was Taylor Swift. Only a Taylor Swift channel.
Taylor Swift.
Sorry, that's just me. You send your kid to the 1 week and they're going to hear Taylor Swift. I hope
They'll hear
that's...
a tiny bit of Taylor Swift, but not that much.
But it was so fun, and at one point we had, in all 3 headsets, we had like 3 different, like the cha-cha slide, the church clap, ask your campers if they've been to the 1 week what the church clap is, and then Cotton Eye Joe, and watching like all of the kids like doing all the different like themed dance songs at the same time, but in complete silence. Like if you take your headphones off, you just see kids like
poorly singing and doing that. Yeah. Just keep doing that. Yeah. And then you can actually take that and then just repeat it over and over and over, loop it. Yeah. All right. Producer Patrick, make sure you do that. Okay, what's next, Jackie?
Well, I would say that those are the big differences. Just the daily schedules. 1 week, your campers are getting a bit of everything. 2 and 3 week, they're deciding what they want to do. It's a little more in depth. But there are a lot of similarities. That's what I mean to say. A lot of similarities between our programs because we're like co-principals, co-directors.
Yay. Yes, you're for the lower school and I'm for the upper school.
Yeah, pretty much.
If I had to really describe Catalina Sea Camp, I say it is an ocean adventure program with specialties in everything from diving to sailing to marine biology. If your camper is looking for an intensive marine biology-based program, this might not be the place for them. They get to have that marine biology experience, but it is not super academic.
Right.
We are an ocean adventure program. I want to make sure, because we've had some campers that have come and said, where's all the marine bio?
We want more.
And we've been able to do things like have them work behind the scenes at our aquariums, but it's not truly at the root of what our summer program is.
Yeah. And that's a big similarity between all three programs is marine biology. We do have these awesome labs in some classes, but like Paul said, they're scratching the surface in the summertime.
I think one thing that is awesome about our program are our dedicated lab spaces. So we have a shark lab with a shark touch tank. We have
at both facilities.
We have invertebrate touch tanks at both facilities. We have at Toyon, the 3-week program, we have a beautiful marine mammal hall with skeletons. I mean, it's awe-inspiring and breathtaking when you walk in to our marine mammal hall. Producer Patrick has probably put a little picture of the marine mammal hall right above my finger. Look at how beautiful it is. Look at it. Do you see it? I'm poking the whale.
Yeah. I would say another big similarity is just the way that we group our cabins, the way we group kids, our ratios. Our ratio is always about 1 counselor for every 8 to 10 campers. In the 1 week and 2 week program, every cabin doesn't go past 8 kids. We have crews, so the campers are separated by ages. So in the 1 weeks, there's 8 to 9-year-olds are an A crew, 10 to 11-year-olds are the B crew, 12 to 13-year-olds are the C crew. And
I'm not going to give you the ages in the 3-week, but it is the 12 to 17-year-olds there's the A's the youngest, B's the oldest. I'm sorry, B's the middle.
B's the middle, C's the oldest.
Are the oldest.
And they're grouped in a cabin with people their age. That's all the same. And we get about roughly 150 to 200 campers per session.
One thing I want to say about groupings.
Yeah.
I will never, and Jackie will never, take a group of, say, 7 campers that know each other and then put one that doesn't know anyone.
Ever.
That actually was a situation that I dealt with when I was a camper.
So sad.
And it was sad.
That's so sad.
It was horrendous.
I'm surprised you came back.
I know.
That must have been that great.
It really was good. It was a good experience. But it's something that I passed on to Jackie, is that it's really important that you build those groups intentionally.
Yeah.
That you put maybe 4 returning campers and 3 new campers, or 2 kids that know each other and 5 kids that don't know each other. And it allows for better group bonding, better group cohesiveness. It's just important to make sure that everyone is comfortable within their cabin.
Yeah. No, it's true.
Yeah.
It is true. The last few things that I feel like are similar that's important for people to know are Sea Camp. We have Sea Camp traditions, and we're not going to go through all of them because there are a lot, and we don't want to spoil any surprises.
No.
But there's a lot of things that we keep within all 3 programs to make it so that when your camper is transitioning from the 1 week to the 2 week to the 3 week, they are feeling like they're still at home in the same place. Because Fox and Toyon are different locations. So when your camper goes over to Toyon from Fox, we still want them to feel like I'm here, I'm at Sea Camp. Like this is the same magic, it's the same energy. And those traditions really help keep that consistency. And I think the feeling of like safety and home that we want them to feel. So that's something that I think we really tried to do to keep just uniform between us.
And just everything from the way that we get people's attention, we
Yeah.
typically do in the same way. From the shirts that we're wearing to just the way that we communicate, the way that we deal with behavior correction is almost exactly the same.
Yeah.
We want our campers, as they go year after year, to feel comfortable with our environment. Yeah.
Yeah. I kind of feel like that's the big gist
Yeah.
between 1 week, 2 week, and 3 week. I'm just trying to think of like any last things that like a parent would want to know while they're trying to make this decision. I mean, you can always call us and we can answer as many questions as you
I love
have.
answering questions. Call me, please. I'm lonely. I have a dog sit in my lap during podcasts. So lonely. Yes, I think that we've covered as much as we can. Obviously, the biggest thing is that they're different lengths.
Right.
1 week, 2 week, and 3 week. If your camper really, really wants to get scuba certified, please send them to the 3 week if they are
Yes.
12 years or older.
Yes.
Those are the big main differences. And then, of course, the 1 week group based, 2 and 3 week individual based, as you are choosing your activities before you get to camp.
Well, we're going to be doing these more frequently now.
Hopefully, we cut that last part out.
With more subjects that we feel like you guys care about and want to hear. But if there's anything in particular where you're like, I would love to hear more about, put it in the comments.
What do you want to know? Do you want to know about cabins? Do you want to know about the food? Do you want to know about Jackie's hair regimen? Because look at that mane. What's up? Ask us things that you want to know about camp, and we will share that information with you.